Oh, man, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 4 minutes after the hour. Pastor Haynes, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Rickey Smiley. God bless you, man.
God bless you. I know you got a good word this morning.
Oh, thank you for this song. This song gives me flashbacks to when my little daughter, when she was learning how to walk, she was just a toddler, and so sometimes we'd go outside because she liked to walk outside. And Rick, one time we're walking outside, and she couldn't really get her legs to cooperate like she wanted them to. So what she did, she held up one hand, and that one hand meant she wanted me to hold her in that hand. And so what I did, I held her hand, and we walked a little more, and then she tripped. But when she tripped, she didn't go all the way down. She tripped, but she didn't go all the way down and hit the ground because I was able to lift her. And once I lifted her, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here this cat comes running across the street in the direction of my daughter. And this time, Rick, she didn't hold up one hand. She held up both hands. I picked her up, and that cat knew it had to back away. And so here is my daughter in my arms because she was with her dad, and her dad, watch this, had his hands on her. And that's the good news of this song by Marvin Sapp. When you are walking with God, every now and then God says here, if you just want me to if you want me to hold your hand, I can hold your hand. And sometimes that's all we need. And so one songwriter said, precious Lord, take my hand, because it's simply about us being held by the hand of God as we walk through this life. But then every now and then, because we're holding God's hand, sometimes we trip. But if we're holding God's hand and God is holding us, the good news is we may trip, but we won't go all the way down because God's hand can hold us up. And then other times we need God to pick us up, and so we hold up both hands. And when we hold up both hands, I promise you, God will carry you. God will see you through. God will protect you. God will cover you. The good news is God's hands are hands that will hold you, will protect you, will cover you, and will keep you. I'm glad to know that God has his hands on me. If I will do that for my little daughter, imagine what God will do for you, God's child. The good news is Marvin Sapp is on to something. He has his hands on you.
Oh, appreciate that, Pastor Haynes. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, appreciate you, Rickey Smiley. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at FH Unscripted. I'm on Facebook, Frederick D. Haynes, and my YouTube channel is Frederick Haynes.
There it is. Love you, Pastor Haynes.
Love you, Rickey. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
News headlines, entertainment, sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 11 minutes after the hour. Y'all got your front page. Good morning.
Good morning, Rickey. Good morning, everyone, and happy, beautiful Thursday. It's your girl, Eva Marcel, here with a look at your headline news. So, the U.S. has now passed 3 million confirmed coronavirus cases just yesterday. Meanwhile, President Trump is now threatening to cut funding for schools that don't have enough students in the classrooms come this fall. Also, Trump criticized his own department, saying that the guidelines for the CDC that they put out for reporting were way too harsh. Now the CDC is expected to revise those guidelines again. Now, the original guidelines included things like students and teachers wearing masks, easy, spreading out desks, staggering schedules, eating meals in classrooms instead of cafeteria, and things like that to assist in social distancing. Meanwhile, Harvard University and MIT have filed lawsuits yesterday to block Trump's new guidelines that would force foreign students to leave if they don't attend in-person classes in fall. Now, the president of Harvard said that the rule shows cruelty and recklessness, and he does not agree with it. In other news, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom has signed an executive order requiring face masks to be worn in public effective immediately. That means yesterday. And transcripts for the police body cam recordings from George Floyd's death were released to the public yesterday, showing Floyd pleading for his life over 20 times. So sad. And last, the Supreme Court upheld a ruling that said employees and organizations can deny offering free birth control to employees based on religious objections. Okay. Well, that was a quick look at your headline news. For more front page, log on to the RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock T, what you got in sports, my brother?
Well, the Ivy League just made it official. They have ruled out playing all sports in the fall. That means no football season. And as I said, it's just a matter of time for all college NCAA divisions to be announcing probably the similar decision. So we'll see what happens, man. Stanford University, they will be eliminating 11 varsity sport programs due to the coronavirus. That includes sports like men and women's fencing, field hockey, rowing, sailing, synchronized swimming, men's volleyball, and wrestling, just to name a couple of them. 2 days ago, wide receiver of the Philadelphia Eagles, Deshaun Jackson, posted statements attributed to Adolf Hitler. He was dragged by the general public for doing that. He later came back and apologized for the post. Former NBA star Steven Jackson expressed that he agreed with Deshaun Jackson, but in other words, he could have chose a better choice of words or whatever. But he pretty much got dragged as well for agreeing with him. And now he's like, listen, I stand for what I've always stood for. You guys know I'm out here on the front line for social justice and inequality, and maybe I should have chose a different set of words of what I chose. But I back my man Deshaun Jackson and so on and so forth. So this thing is he may get cut from the Eagles. The Eagles are distancing very far from this, so we'll keep you posted on that as well. There it is, man. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter at Roxy Holla. Let's talk sports. What up there, Gary?
All right, y'all. Is Kelly Rowland doing a book now or something? Because she's been really speaking out lately. Now she's talking about, y'all, she said, y'all, when she acted very uncool the first time, y'all, that she met Whitney Houston. Now they're saying, y'all, that Whitney Houston, she's an influence, y'all, not just on her fans, but on her musical, her musical peers and stuff, like Kelly Rowland and Brandy and all these other girls and stuff. Well, Kelly admitted, y'all, that she just behaved strangely there during her first meeting with Whitney. She said because she was nervous. Now, she said it was she and Beyonce and all the other girls. They were all hanging out having dinner in Beverly Hills. And Bobby came out the restaurant. And she said when Bobby came out the restaurant, he spotted them. And they were shocked that Bobby spotted them because, these girls probably weren't all that big at the time. They didn't have their weaves on and all that other stuff. And they just didn't look familiar. So, but she admitted, y'all, that the mama was uncool. She said because she was such a huge fan. And she freaked out, y'all. She said, honey, I had that uncool moment with Whitney, but she said it was really, just cool, and she laughed about it, what have you. But she also said, y'all, that she was nervous, and she had this blank on her face. And she said when Bobby told her that he was going to go get his wife to meet them, they didn't know who the hell Bobby was. I mean, at least didn't really know who his wife was because they weren't thinking at the time. But she said she realized it was Whitney. She said, I haven't even met. Yeah, she said, I haven't even met her yet, and I could feel my throat closing up. And I was like, that made me think, with us, all of us and whatever, y'all meeting different celebrities or whatever. And I want to ask comedian Special K. Special K, did your throat close up when you met comedian Rickey Smiley for the first time?
Yeah, Gary. My knees were shaking.
That's
my
a
hands
man
were
law
sweaty.
violation.
Yeah, kind of dumb it.
Kelly was a singer and Whitney was a singer in her throat.
When I met Rickey, he was driving a Jeep Cherokee.
Right.
What I get nervous for? He had a cracked windshield. What was I going to get nervous for?
It was a 92 Tahoe.
The passenger window didn't even work.
That don't mean you couldn't
The hell of a get nervous thing.
Hey, you remember that dark green Jeep Cherokee with the windshield crack?
The cobblestone with a cracked windshield, but then I get nervous.
Well, you still got nervous, Special K. I mean,
He had on an outfit from Jeans West.
I had an outfit from where, K?
Jeans West.
It don't matter. Nobody still know who you are, but they know who Rickey is.
I had a brooch. I had on a brooch.
Ain't nobody know who he was.
You said nobody knew who comedian Rickey Smiley was at that time?
I know. How long I've been doing this fool?
I was
knowing him since the mid-60s.
I was Cedric the Entertainer's opening act.
What I'm gonna get excited for?
Wait, who were you? Were you opening act?
Man, I was doing shows at Old Charlie's.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, they would set up a corner. They would set up a little stage at a little place like Old Charlie's or Ruby's or Applebee's back then, whatever it was back then, and set a little corner up. They had comedy night at some of those restaurants, and white people would just be sitting there eating. We'd be up there telling jokes, and nobody's listening.
Houlihan mix.
The good old days.
Oh my God, I feel like I offended somebody. But anyway, the Kahlua today, honey, is one of my favorite Kahluas. My Kahlua today is Rosy Beige. On the high end, you say Rosy Beige, and on the low end, just say Beautiful Light Tan. So, Brett, what's going on with Naya Rivera?
Yeah, man. Actress Naya Rivera went missing.
Go to hell. I was getting it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Actress Naya Rivera went missing, y'all, after swimming in a California lake with her 4-year-old son. I'm going to tell you all about it. Coming up in the hot spot, y'all. Yeah.
Brett, what's going on with what's this?
Well, it was a touching moment. You had to go from this to this.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Okay, I can't sing. Wait.
Charlie Wilson coming up. We're gonna talk to Charlie Wilson tomorrow. I dare y'all. I'm gonna play that for him and see what he gonna say. I said that. I'm trying that song. You know what?
Boing.
Well, you know what? When we interview Charlie Wilson tomorrow, we should have Tommy Davidson call in.
Sign some autographs.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot.
Brett hit the what did he say about the autograph again, Brett?
And shine some autographs.
All right, y'all, it's time for the hot spot. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. 28 before the top of the hour. This segment's being brought to you by
Urban One. We have the power and the voice to decide the direction of our communities and our nation. Don't sit back. Take action and register to vote on newsone.com/vote. Make your voice heard. The Brat, what you got there, girl?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brett Ted, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. Oh, man. Authorities are searching for Glee actress Naya Rivera. They were searching for her last night after her 4-year-old son was found floating alone on a rented boat in Lake Piru in California. Now, according to the Ventura County Sheriff's Department, she rented a boat about 1 p.m. and then about 3 hours later, another boater found her child in the boat floating by himself. So the boaters notified officials who immediately began to search for Rivera with the use of helicopters, drones, and dive teams. The child was said to be unharmed and told investigators that he and his mother were swimming, but his mother never got back on the boat. Authorities believe Rivera to be presumed drowned, and the search will continue at daybreak. Yes, authorities were working to reunite the child with family members. People say that they may remember Naya as being previously engaged to Big Sean. I think she's the one that he was engaged to that still had the wedding on their day, but married somebody else or something like that.
The thing about it is, man, when you're on small boats like that and you're not a really, really good swimmer, you have to wear a life jacket.
You do.
Unless you're just a good, excellent swimmer.
Yes.
You know, you have to know about the currents, which way the current is going. You don't swim against the current. You swim with the current and go to the side. What to do when you're in the, what do you call the thing? When you're in the ocean.
Buoys.
No, when you're in the ocean and the water is pushing you back out, but you're trying to swim in.
It's like the current.
The current.
No, not the current.
The tide.
No, not the tide. It's called something else. But you have to swim across. But they have those areas.
Oh, like when you're surfing.
No.
They have those areas that are higher underwater where you can reach and stand up on. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, it's I forgot what it's called, but
Okay.
But they have that at beaches sometime, and a lot of people be almost about to drown because they're trying to swim back to the beach, but the current is pushing them back.
Riptide?
Right, that's called a riptide.
There you go.
Riptide. So you have to learn how to swim across. So you have to do a little research when you go into a lake or when you go into the ocean or whatever, you know. So I that's what I do in the summer. I teach a lot of people how to swim and about water safety because I'm on the water all the time. But that's really sad. That's really sad.
It is. And if you're going to get in the water, y'all, go by the the beach part by the sand, so you can see where you're getting off and getting back on.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a child with you and y'all by yourselves. That is very sad news. We're gonna wrap up the hot spot right there, y'all. Coming up next, we got Special K with the news you absolutely positively cannot use. And in the meantime, in between time, hit us up for them wake up calls. It's 1-866-9-RICKEY. That's 1-866-9-RICKEY. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Rickey Smiley Morning.
You liar! I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, the time right now is 13 before the top of the hour, y'all. Comedian extraordinaire Special K got news you can't use. What up, man?
This some news you can use. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Because, I mean, like, this week, man, it's been rough on black women. 50 Cent and Lil Wayne and them talking about the exoticals and, the whole controversy, man. It just got me to thinking. I said, okay, we got Thursday coming up. I'm going to talk about the kind of women you need to love, man. The kind of women that you need to love that's going to reciprocate that love the right way. I'm talking about hood chicks. You better love you some hood chicks, man.
Yes, sir.
I love me some... Look, let me tell you something.
Sponsored by Apple Green Now Laters.
What? Yeah. Sponsored by Apple Green Now Laters.
Sponsored by Chico Sticks. Big blows.
Yes.
Hot flaming Cheetos. Pickles and pickled pig feet.
Tahitian treat soda. Yes. Don't nobody get ghetto shit great. Tahitian treat.
Tahitian treat.
You ain't gonna see that at nobody classy house. But let me tell you something, Rob. These are the kind of women you gotta love, man. If you take her shoe shopping and she only want to go to Shoe Land or bare feet shoes in the ghetto mall.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Been there.
Spend $100, she gonna get 6 pairs of shoes.
Been there. Yeah.
If she put her 2-year-old in the car seat, but she just pull the seatbelt over and don't use the car seat straps.
Yes, sir.
Because you don't like those car seat straps. You be like, you ain't gonna strap the baby all the way? He don't like that. He don't like that. I ain't got time for that.
Either you all right?
Even know what I'm talking about.
She all right, because she done what she probably just did that yesterday. You get tired of that damn.
Got that baby halfway strapped in that damn car seat.
You tired of all them damn seatbelt clicks and click and click, 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 click. It's too much.
They put them belts on that seat for a reason.
I'm like, what's wrong with these children? They ain't tough. We ain't have no seatbelts at all. We stand up on that back seat and your mama hit a turn.
You fly.
Man, you roll and break your neck.
Let me tell you the kind of chick you need to love, Rick.
Yeah.
If her phone screen got a whole lot of cracks all over
yes, sir.
That's a good one.
And she swipe text.
Hey, and talk about this one now. If you go to her house and she got that apple green leather couch set that everybody got from Rooms to Go outlet back in 2005, 2006. Y'all know that green leather couch that everybody had.
You know that's real.
If she drive a Lexus coupe, but it's old and she got to unlock the door with the key.
I'm finna hang up on you, man.
If the ceiling fan in her bedroom got 4 light bulbs, but 2 of them always blowed out.
Yes, sir. and the light bulb screw into the little flower fixture on the side.
Little flower thing,
flower thing. And they got the long ass string, and she didn't connect with something else to a shoestring to the chain string. Where she could pull it from the bed. All she had to do is sit up and pull it. I know what you're talking about.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. And the blades always be real dusty.
Real dusty.
The blades be real dusty. She ain't never heard of that little
like a cotton candy machine. There'd be so much dust on it.
Damn blades look like they got hair on them.
Right.
If she wear boots with her skinny jeans tucked down in them and be pigeon-toed when she walk, that's what I'm talking about.
What's wrong with that?
Oh man, any chick that's real wide from the waist down, but she real slim up top. She ain't got no chest, but that waist and them hips real wide, and that butt real big,
like a bowling pin.
You stupid.
Boy, any chick you see at $50 or Walmart at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning wearing one of them long cotton dress, that long dress with that real thin material. I don't know what they call them, but they call them long dresses y'all be wearing.
With the thin
material.
Sundress.
Yeah, that long
maxi dress.
Boy, everybody right. Finding them.
Yes,
if
sir.
she work at a job where she wear them scrubs.
Oh yeah.
Like a dental office, or she work at a doctor's office, but she ain't no nurse.
Yeah, got it.
Work at the doctor's office. She got a scrubs.
Well, I'm in nursing right now.
Every girl look fine in them scrubs.
Scrubs and Crocs.
I'm telling you, man, you cannot lose. If she only had 1 or 2 clean towels when you look in her closet, but they real thin.
Yes, sir.
Man,
They not
Kay.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, they not them good thick ones. They the kind she got
You
from
go to
Walmart.
Walmart and
There's
get those cheap ones. They be different colors.
They
They don't match.
$2.74 a piece.
But they'll scrub all the dirt off you, though.
Yes, sir.
They will scrub
Yes,
all
sir.
the dirt off you.
And you can fold one up in front of the shower because you know you ain't got no rug down there. So you can fold one up in front of the shower. And use it for a bath mat. If she got a towel folded up in front of her shower, I'm telling you, that's a keeper. That's a keeper right there. That's a damn keeper right there.
I'm
Yeah, you
done.
talking about any chick over the age of 26 that believe you need a passport to go to New York. I'm telling you. Like, girl, we live in South Carolina. What you talking about? You need a passport to go to New York.
Woo! That's how it be. All right, y'all, give it up and show your love to Special K.
I like that. Wow.
Gary got the tea and the glue today coming up with you.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right, y'all, Rick's Modern Morning Show. Hey, this segment is being brought to you by My Computer Career. That's right, family. If you don't absolutely love what you do, go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today and become an information technology professional in as little as 4 months. That's mycomputercareer.edu. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. The prayer warriors, really, Ricky, y'all, are being solicited for Kanye West, y'all. They're saying that he's in the throes, honey, of a serious bipolar episode. Now, they're saying, y'all, that people around him are concerned, y'all, that it has impacted his decision-making and some of the things, y'all, that he has said in the last week or so. Now, some people are saying, sources are saying, y'all, that he suffers a serious bout with his bipolar disorder usually once a year, and people are very concerned about it, which, you know, is really true, though, Ricky, because like they're saying, if you recall now back in, what was it October last year or what have you, they're saying, you know, when Kanye was on TMZ and he said that he was not going to take his medicines, he said because he didn't want to take his bipolar medicine because it made him feel stuffy, he said, and he was not creative, so he stopped taking it and stuff. And you know, I believe that, you know, I know that because, you know, I went through the same thing and still go through the same thing once a year.
Right.
And you know, when hell, I used to didn't take my medicine, used to really get on my nerves, but we just got to keep him lifted up in prayer, honey, because it's a very sad thing. So, you know, that he's going through, and yes, he may be doing some things that sound crazy with the president, but he does definitely need to take his medicine or whatever, because you do feel, some people think that, you know, it make them feel stuffy and all that stuff, and, you know, so I understand it. So
Well, how does the medicine make you feel, Gary?
it makes you feel, well, my medicine, because I take lithium. Lithium it keeps me balanced. If I didn't take my lithium, you know damn well everybody was being cursed out for the day.
Yes, sir.
You know, and
We all know.
and if I, you know, but if I take it, it keeps me balanced. But you still sometimes kind of go off a little bit on the Richter or whatever. But it's not as bad as it is if you take it and stuff. So that's why I have to take mine every day. So because I just recently had an episode, y'all didn't know about it, but I kind of did. So
Well, they had to take you to the hospital?
Huh?
They had to take you to the hospital?
Yes, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Ricky, I just was not. I was sleeping like just continuously and stuff. And this is the honest truth. I woke up one morning with a damn beard. I'm like, where in the hell this come from? Because I wouldn't take
woke up with a beard?
Like a
with
whole
a beard. I was growing facial hair. I'm like, where in the hell this come from?
And
Because
what'd you do?
I shaved it off. I'm like, let me get this out of my face quickly. You think I'm
It's
gonna walk around with
beautiful,
that?
Gary.
Well, it ain't beautiful
Woke up
for me,
looking like
honey.
Rick Ross.
No, sir, honey. So I heard and got that out of my damn face. I'm like, where did this come from?
You gonna get kicked out of sorority if
Baby,
you have
the
a...
queens would have been like, girl, wait a minute now. We confused now. Which one are you? So I had to be sure, honey, that I'm still
God,
the smooth
Gary.
face, honey. So, no, ma'am.
Speak, Lord.
We just gotta stay in prayer.
God is trying to tell you something, Gary.
Well, girl, he wasn't gonna tell me that
Speak,
thing, 'cause, baby, when I saw it, I cut it off my face,
speak
honey.
to me.
Moving on, y'all. Another celebrity news, y'all. K. Michelle, y'all. They're saying, y'all, that she's being abusive and homophobic, y'all, toward a stylist, y'all. Now, this stylist by the name of Hollywood Larry, honey. He said, y'all, you know, in a video that he styled K. Michelle for her video, he said, and she humiliated him. And then he said this girl threw a vase full of birds of paradise allegedly out at him. Honey, could you picture that, Brett? Baby, this girl was styled.
Them are good flowers.
Good
Gary.
flowers, baby. They said, baby, Miss K. Michelle was being styled, and he styled this girl, honey. And evidently, she must didn't want to pay him. He said, because she still has, as of $1 just to pay him. And he probably told this girl, honey, I already did this French roll for you, girl, and you ain't paid me. And babe,
Now, how much that cost, Brett?
a lot of money.
Honey, them expensive, honey. I
Yes.
sent Gary a
huge,
couple of
too.
them. And yeah, that vase arrangement was about $300.
Big flower.
Exactly. Just man,
How
babe.
long do they last?
They last a while.
They last now. They
I'm
get
about
you.
done now. They're about done the ones I
You've
had
seen
that
them
breast
before,
on me,
Ricky,
honey.
but you think they plants because they're so big.
Right.
Yeah.
They're huge.
They grow on the road in L.A., honey. They grow like grass in L.A., honey.
You
but
never
baby-
see them at the
sure do.
cemetery, do you?
Oh, no, you don't. Baby, you see some carnations and things, honey.
I think you took Big Mama and them plastic ass flowers and laid on their grave and walked off, and then they'd be there to next Mother's Day.
The last florist queen coming through there, baby, taking them birds of paradise out.
I got to look that up. They're birds of paradise.
Yes, they like orange and like a little blue. They are
They
fabulous.
stand up.
honey.
They look
Orange and
like
purple
birds.
in there.
Yes,
Wow.
honey.
Yeah, like a bird.
Babe,
Okay.
when I got mine from Bradbridge, I was like, all right, baby, it's on the table for a month.
Yes,
But
for
it-
longevity.
Yes, honey. But it was cute though. But y'all, let's keep Hollywood Larry lifted in prayer. Y'all that K. Michelle just giving his money.
That's
or
Larry
whatever.
that do hair, Eva.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. For real?
Chicago?
Y'all know him?
No, not our Missy Larry. Not our Missy Larry. Not
Okay,
that
okay.
Larry.
I thought that was
That's
my
Larry
Larry.
Sims.
Okay.
No, not our Larry. This is Hollywood Larry here in Atlanta. But he's still a stylist. He's a wardrobe stylist, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Jesus, Lord.
Baby,
We can't throw flowers at the
You
people.
can't be throwing flowers. And they say, give
I
me
know
my
Bird of
flowers.
Paradise.
Okay.
In my final story, y'all, Ricky,
Oh,
you
some
need to call.
carnations.
Okay, was that? Baby, that girls look at those like, But anyway, Ricky, call your girl Erica Badu, baby. This girl is speaking. Now she's saying, honey, that her body part is the fountain of youth, honey. And she went on and on. And so I tell you 3 wonderful wishes that you may have, honey, with her. And I'm like, wait a minute, Miss Badu, girl, honey, that's a little bit too much. y'all.
I'm with it.
Yeah, call her, please.
I believe that.
I bet you are.
That Erica is fine.
Yeah.
But I can't look at her like that because that's my sister. But she is fine.
Yeah, she's a pretty girl. I remember y'all was all broke together, honey. You, her, and Steve. Honey. Now,
Me, her, and Steve was broke.
all 3 of y'all was broke. Remember, he had the club, you was going to the club, and she picked you up for the club.
Right.
So, there you
Right.
go.
Yeah, we were struggling. That was before the Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
Yes, honey.
And me and Erica was college students.
Yes, Lord. All right, the color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is rosy beige. On the high end, you say rosy beige, and on the low end, you say beautiful light tan. That's your color for today.
All right, y'all give it up for Gary with the T. Oh, they got your wake-up calls. Go ahead and call me now. The phone lines are wide open. All right. Here we go. Wake-up calls. 22 after the hour. Let's go.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Hey.
Gotta get yourself together. Cause he woke you up this morning, slid you in your house shoes, so it would be better. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Encourage each other and be productive. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Wanna know where you calling from, so come on and tell us and just wake up.
This is McKendra calling all the way from downtown Fort Lauderdale, the Broward County Courthouse, picking up my mother, Ruby Matthews, and everybody at the courthouse. Put your mask on. Let's get to work. Wake up, wake up.
I'm Shauna from Alabama. I want to wake up my husband, Frederick. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
I want to wake up my wife, Cynthia, tell her that I love her and have a good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
This is Deborah Ann calling from Detroit, Michigan. I want to wake up my brother, Dooney. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Well, I like to say wake up from Larry, Louisville. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Whole gang is tuned in, lock in. What's yours? Cause we gon' let them know. When you in Miami, wake up. Seattle, wake up. And Detroit, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. St. Louis, wake up. New Orleans, wake up. And Memphis, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Hey, appreciate that, Brett.
You welcome, Ricky.
There it is, 24 minutes after the hour. Y'all coming up next, man. I got Brad's favorite bit, man. Church in 60 seconds with Pastor Fred. Here we go, y'all. Up next, man. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up and show your love. Church in 60 seconds. The one and only Pastor Fred, y'all.
Pastor Fred.
Yes. Turn off them lights. Yes. Cause you don't pay no bills here. Saints and ain'ts. Those that can and those that can't. You know, Big Mama stand about to turn off the lights here, cause you don't pay no bills in this house. It's a shame that people would rather use you and just abuse you. Just keep on using me until you use me. You know, they feel like I ought to be able to drive your car because you have two. And they say it was 3 pork chops, but I left you one. But Big Mama, anybody remember Big Mama?
Oh, yeah.
Big Mama pulled us all together and said, listen to me and listen to me good. I know you don't think you're gonna lay here and eat up all my food.
She said it.
I worked hard, yes I did. God gave me strength to buy some snacks. And if any of them are gone, I'm gonna swat your backs. I'm clean. You better clean up that room. I'm not gonna tell you again. And if I catch you dancing nasty one more time, I'm gonna whoop your in. This house is holy, and it's gonna stay that way.
All right.
But if your mama come get you, you might meet him today. And turn off them lights. Turn off the lights, cause you don't pay no bills here. Follow me at the real Pastor Fred and let me have something on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Church in 60 Seconds with Pastor Fred.
Pastor Fred.
Hey! One time, boy, don't make me shout it here. Hey, we got your chicken and waffle mix with John Lyon on the 1 and 2s coming up. Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Lion Zone.
J-A-A, Lion Zone.
Yeah,
hey, man, appreciate that mix now, little bro.
Yeah, my pleasure, my Ricky.
I know. Savannah State University's own John Lyon Sound. I know that's right, man. Black Tony, why you? Hey, listen. You know, man, bro, you keep calling in, man. Now we getting complaints from corporate, you know what I'm saying? You know, and people pay you money. You know, you can't call in sick every day.
Shawty, I told you yesterday, Shawty, I'm gonna get catched up on everything you asked me to do, Shawty. I promise you, I'm gonna get catched up on everything. But in August, boy, I'm gonna get employer of the month in August.
Hey, man, I met, man. Listen, when we met at Quick Trip, you asked me for an opportunity, bro. I gave you a job, bro. You call in sick every day, man.
Yeah. Okay, so now that you finished with your whole little thing, can I say something, Shawty?
Yeah.
Cause you messing my life up right now. And I wasn't even gonna say nothing about it. So I wasn't even gonna say nothing. I was gonna try to be cool about it, cause you know what I'm saying. It's a touchy situation, but real talk though, Shawty. This show is killing my business, Shawty. I'm just gonna keep it out.
The morning show killing your business?
Yeah, Shawty, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, Shawty. I was gonna call your bar man, or I was gonna call your bar man and tell him, so we need to change this show up, Shawty. Cause I be getting fucked. Cause look, I done got famous in the hood, cause everybody know I be on the radio, right?
Right.
But now all the crackheads who come to the truck, they be listening to the morning show, Shawty. And you gonna have to do something about your boy in the morning, Shawty, or Pastor, the priest, the pastor who come on in the morning.
Pastor Fred.
The one who come on when you play the morning. When you
Pastor Haynes.
Yeah, cause he be doing too good, Shawty. He be doing the word, Shawty.
Yeah.
And now you got the crackhead listening to the word in the morning. I done had some crackhead done went and changed their life, Shawty. They done went and got saved. Don't even come smoke no more. Talking about they listen to Pastor Haynes, they want to do better with their life. Now I can't make no damn money because you got folks listening to the morning show get saved.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Ain't nobody ever agreed with what you was doing.
But they want to go get their life right because they be listening to Pastor Haynes and they be getting this spot. Like, Shawty, who want to smoke all this crack?
Oh, man, yeah, that's what you got to find your...
I'm just saying.
What, Rob?
That's a good point, Rick. Because Black Tony he's officially a black-owned business, and we got to support them black-owned businesses out there.
Bond Rock TV.
Get out of bed. The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. When we get over here, Get somewhere and sit down. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't think about me because I'm grown. I'm going to be with the grown folks. You go be with the kids. Understand this. When I say it's time to go, it's time to go. Don't ask, can you stay the night? You cannot. Don't ask, can they come back over here and stay the night? They cannot. Don't get over here acting like you hungry, like you ain't ate all day. If you do, I'm going to knock fire out of your throat. Don't touch nothing. Don't break nothing. Don't ask for nothing to drink. Don't ask for nothing to eat. Lisa Ann already think her kids is better than everybody else, and they are not. If one of them touch you, you better knock their head off their shoulder. Don't come in there tattling to me about what you think, what you want, and how you feel. When we get ready to go, I tell you how you feel. Is everybody on the same page? Don't play with me. Is y'all ready to go? Okay, let's go.
Anybody ever got fire knocked out of their throat?
Ooh.
Man.
Let's talk about that for a second. Anybody ever got fire knocked out of their throat? Because I want to know what that feel like. I think I have.
How the fire get in your throat?
You must get hit in the throat.
How the fire get in your throat?
I don't know, but you got fire knocked out of your throat. Super Dave, you ever got fire knocked out of your throat? Just like...
Yeah, I have.
Who did it?
My father when I cut the couch for no reason.
Why did you cut the couch? Why did you cut the couch?
As I told him, the devil got in me.
You told your daddy the devil got in you?
And then he said, I'm going to beat the devil out of you. And he did.
And he knocked fire out of your throat?
I saw the fire come out of my throat. I thought I was a dragon.
You thought you one day?
I thought I was a dragon.
Ain't never been the same since.
Gary got the tea and the color today. Coming up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Hold it. He's half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the teeth. It's Gary, baby.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. 5 minutes after the hour. Gary has the tea and the clue today. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning to you. It's Thursday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news. Y'all, you remember earlier this week, we were talking about 50 Cent. Y'all, he was saying, honey, how he don't want no black woman with no big mouth, and he sure don't want one, honey, that ain't exotic. Well, baby, they're saying that 50 being shut down by the criticism by a lot of women all over the country, and he finally decided, y'all, to confess. He said, y'all, listen, honey, I have a beautiful black woman, y'all. She's very beautiful. She just recently helped celebrate his birthday with him and what have you. And, you know, and he said that he was just only saying that. He said he loved black women. Now, he said, as for the exotic women, you know, that's a totally different story. He don't really care about that, but he really does like black women. Now, my thing is, I think he lying, because they got him a picture with him and a beautiful black woman, but I think he bought her. I think he bought that
don't do
woman.
that, Gary.
Huh?
Why you say that? He does like black women.
Well, why in the hell you sat there and said all this a big thing about it that you didn't like him and what have you and stuff? Now all of a sudden, I like black women now because black women been shutting
That's
down.
That's not what he said. What he said was that he oftentimes gets a lot of lip from black women, where exotic women don't give him the same drama. Now, we definitely dug in his butt from it, but he never said he didn't like black women. That he never said.
Y'all do be talking a lot, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, regardless of all that, even
y'all be doing a lot sometimes, though.
But they went off on him on the internet, huh?
Oh yes, they went off on him, man. You got to remember black women.
Who all went off on him?
Oh, which women? Oh, all black women. They didn't even say any in particular, but they said black women in particular just went off on him because that's something that's very offensive for one thing. And you said something like that, and you know they said your mama was a black woman. Now, not much you like her or care for or whatever, but she is was a black woman. And what happened?
Sometimes a hit dog gonna holler.
Well, that's why he hollered.
Maybe that's why they going on, because they know it's he told a little bit of the truth though.
Regardless if he told a little bit of the truth or not, Special K, still those black women are the women that got his blood, one buying all his music.
You better watch out, Special K.
So I don't see no exotic.
I'm just saying,
buying none or whatever. So
don't try to act like there ain't no truth to it.
But
sometimes y'all could be
there's truth to that when it comes to all women. All women.
All women.
I ain't never dealt with white women. I ain't never dealt with white women.
All women, honey.
I ain't never dealt with no white woman, but sometimes sisters, y'all wear us out.
Well, then that means so you can't
y'all wear us out.
Yeah,
come on, Brad.
Because my thing is this, and I know a couple of African American men, honey, that I just date white women, this and other. But guess what, honey? She may not get you. You might get her, honey, at home and do all this stuff and think you sexing her down and loving her and this and other. But she get your black butt at the courthouse, honey. When it's time to leave your her, she get you in. So she's still the same woman, and so it doesn't matter.
You're talking to a man that's dealt with a lot of black women. Trust me, I know.
So, honey, she'll get you there, honey. So don't sit there and think, honey, that these women are also sweet hosts and stuff.
What you say, Brett?
Nobody's supposed to be here. I'm trying over and over. My heart says no.
Hell, you talking
We ain't
about?
supposed to be here, Gary.
Where that come from?
Eva said, how did we get here? Y'all need to pay attention to the show, y'all.
how
Eva
did we
said,
even
Gary,
get
how did we
over
get
here?
here?
How did
And
who
that was
get
my
here?
cue.
Oh, we get here for what?
What we was talking.
How do we get to the courtroom?
Because, damn it, y'all think, because black men think, honey, because, honey, he's sexing her down and loving her and taking all her damn money and stuff, but, honey, she might play that game like she love you, but when it's time to get her the money back and get your butt back, she get you in the courthouse because the judge said, you know what, I don't want to see you with Leroy, but I'd rather see you have Leroy's money and let his
Well, I tell you
be
what,
broke.
if I ever get divorced, my next wife gonna make potato salad with mayonnaise. That's all I got to say.
You know what? The thing about it is,
Where's the phone?
What does she make it with now?
Just stupid.
Gary, please. Gary, what is he talking about? Now I'm lost.
Yeah, I mean, so we can go to Color. Ain't nobody got time for Special K, honey.
Color him, Gary.
Pulling stuff out of his AWS, honey. Ain't nobody got time for that. Color today, honey, is rosy beige. On the high end, you say rosy beige, and on the low, you say beautiful light tan. That's your color for today now.
It's the AWS.
Okay.
Like can't nobody spell.
Why'd you on Gary today, Rocky? I mean, Special K?
Because he was upset
know
because
Gary.
I
He
told
was
you, because, honey, Rickey was a star before him and met him first, and he met Rickey.
Oh, me, I ain't never got to be a star. What the hell?
We know that.
That's probably
That ain't nothing new.
What you say, Gary?
We know that, honey. Can you tell us something else? Yeah. Tell us something
But
else.
he is funny on stage, though, Gary.
Well, he's funny on stage, but let's talk about on the radio.
Yeah. A good joke the other day.
He need to be playing. He need to be playing Prince, "Baby I'm a Star." You might not know it now, but later you'll find out. We waiting for later here.
Boy, you just got your ass roasted by somebody that don't even do stand-up comedy. You supposed to be, you represent the comedians, man. You sit there and let Gary just roast you like that? God.
Battle kids.
Gary said he got
Kids,
time today,
animals, or
sis.
gay dudes.
You said what?
What? You can't win with kids, animals, or gay dudes.
You can't win at all.
You said what, Gary?
Baby Michael Jackson said, you can't win.
Okay. All right, y'all give it up for Gary with the T. It's 11 minutes after the hour, y'all. Coming up in West Trending, President Trump wants everyone back in school. Now, we've been dealing with the coronavirus for months now. So we ask you, is going back to school a must or a mistake? Call us up. We want to know what you think. 866-9-RICKEY. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 14 minutes after the hour, y'all. The segment is being brought to you by Toyota Highlander. Listen now, don't go out, go all out in the all-new Toyota Highlander, featuring an all-new premium interior and available JBL audio system. Toyota, let's go places. All right, so here's what's trending now. President Trump said, forget the coronavirus pandemic, all students need to go back to school this year. So we wanted to hear from you. Is going back to school a must or a mistake? And Special K, what do you think?
I think that there's probably a good argument to be had for the need to open schools back up. But I think that the motivation behind it from the administration is not coming from a good place. I think he's not.
What do you mean?
I think he's doing it for reasons of appearances. He wants America to look like everything is back to normal prior to this election coming up, regardless of what the potential health risks might be. But at the same time, when we talk to like Dr. Collier and people like that, I think that it's not as dangerous for the kids to be back in school as you know.
That'll be good to see if we can get Dr. Collier on the phone and ask him that.
But I think it has to be done in a way that takes the precautions into consideration. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's good for the kids to sit out for another 3 months. I don't think that's good.
Right. All right. Eva, what do you think? You got 3 kids.
Yeah, I'm lucky because I do have 3 kids, but I think about the families, Rick, that have like just one kid at home, or maybe even a single parent. And so there's not a lot of socialization happening. And a lot of times the formative years, these, elementary school years, it's all about kids learning how to socialize, how to have manners, how to share, how to be polite. And so you lose a lot of that when the kids are at home every single day. So I agree with Kay. I think there are precautionary measures that we definitely have to put in place. But I think we need to figure out how to get these kids back into the classroom sooner than later.
Right. Let us know what you think. Now, President Trump said, forget the coronavirus pandemic. He said he want all students need to be back in school this year. So we want to hear from you. And then he threatened to cut funding. If you don't send your kids back to school, he threatened to cut funding. So any educators out there, superintendents, anybody on the school board that want to call us up, hit us up. 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY. Want to know what you think, and I'll be taking your calls up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 17.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show, baby.
All right, y'all, man. RICKEY. Good morning.
I think it's a mistake. The coronavirus is still active and it has gotten stronger. I'm not sending mine back.
I think it's a must, but it can be a mistake if we factor in safety and the educational part. K-3 needs kids. They need social interaction, and virtual learning is not a good idea for their attention span. So implement safety and, do what you can, but everybody can't stay home and teach their kids.
I think it's a mistake because when you have a parent such as myself, I'm a trach patient. I'm a respiratory patient. And when I send my child back to school, he may be symptomatic and come home and sneeze on me. That's going to kill me. My life is a little more at risk with this disease than others. And they're not taking into consideration the parents who have weak immune systems and the other children whose immune systems are not built up and prepared for this virus. Y'all going to send these kids back to school. Y'all not going to sterilize and disinfect like you say you going to do because you can't afford it. And then you're going to put my life in jeopardy.
I definitely think it's a mistake. I agree with Special K. I think that the kids do need to go back to school because my daughter did struggle a little bit. It needs to be done in a way to make sure it's safe.
I think it's a mistake. By me being a firefighter, we see this thing on a regular basis, and it's just going to spread. It's not going to help the problem.
Oh, wow. Wow. Eva Brett, the part about the lady that said that, she's sick and that child come home, she said they might not clean the schools like they say they're going to clean the schools. That's a lot to think about.
That's deep, yeah.
Right when you start thinking like, yeah, they should go back to school, the lady was talking about, had another good point about the social interaction.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's so many sides to this, so you just don't know what. Or let parent elect to
Yes, Rickey.
Yeah.
Let the parents elect because you know what your own specific situation is. And so for some parents, they need their kids to go to school. But for other parents, like the lady that just called in, who already has a compromised immune system, she doesn't need her kid going to school. So that, the parent should be the one to make that decision, not Trump.
Yeah. And I think, in my opinion, Rickey, to stay safe, stay in the house. You can take your kids outside with you. I feel like the school system should have something online where you make sure your kid sits there and pays attention to what they're supposed to be doing and do their homework online, and at least they can be safe and not get germs. And if you want them to go outside, you can take them to ride their bike somewhere. But no.
But we have to have a
kids pass germs and they don't listen. They're not going to do 6 feet apart and all that stuff. So if a kid got to sneeze and they got to wear a mask, that kid taking that mask off to sneeze.
Right.
Okay.
So we heard what everybody think, but what are the schools and colleges thinking? So we decided to reach out to somebody who's in charge and get their opinion. Y'all help me welcome to the show the president, Michael Sorrell of Paul Quinn College, Dallas, Texas. President Sorrell was named one of the Fortune's magazine 50th greatest leaders in the world and has been a proven HBCU leader at Paul Quinn for over 10 years. Good morning, Mr. Sorrell.
Michael.
Good morning, Ricky. It's a pleasure to be here on the show with you all.
Hey, man.
Good morning.
Man, we happy to have you. Now, how do you see schools and colleges reacting to Trump's push for reopening?
Well, listen, I think one of the things everyone has to understand is there are a series of competing interests here, right? So just because the president has an interest, that might not line up with what your experience is or your personal circumstances. I mean, listen, we're announcing this morning that we're going to go to school online in the fall. And the reality of it is we've looked at this situation and what would need to occur for schools, and I'll just personalize for our school, to restrict the behavior of our students and staff in a way that would allow you every single hour of every single day to keep people safe. We just think it doesn't add up. I mean, I was listening to those parents talk about this, and I think people are missing how afraid people are.
Right.
Right. I mean, and especially in our community where this virus is ravaging us.
Right.
So I think, listen, it's fascinating to me how people talk about, online learning isn't good enough and all of these things. And listen, y'all, we have found a way to do everything online. We date online. We get married online.
Okay.
We have our most personal relationships online.
Yeah. The alphas and the kappas and the AKAs, they've been pledging online for years.
Oh,
on
Rick,
the internet.
see what you did there. Did you call him?
Come on, man. We're not supposed to talk about pledging, brother. All right?
I'm just throwing a little hate. I just got to hate a little bit. Hey, so what are you hearing from the students, parents, and staff, Mr. Sorrell?
So it's interesting, right? The staff at our school and at many of the schools are incredibly fearful of returning back to the classrooms.
Right.
And let's just paint a picture of what it's going to be like, right? Can you imagine being in a classroom every hour with students and a student cough? Right? A student cough.
Scatter.
Yeah,
right.
Because
it
happens.
And it happens, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. And trying to regulate all that. I mean, people are afraid.
Right.
They're very afraid. And they have a right to be afraid, especially since we don't even understand the totality of the damage that the virus does.
Right.
Okay? And
So what are the... So, Mr. Sorrell, what do you think the challenges are? I mean, obviously, PPE equipment, but what would the challenges be if you chose not to go online and to have the students come back to school this fall? What would you see yourself facing and the kids facing?
So the first thing you got to try and figure out is how do you consistently get everyone to adhere to the guidelines? And let's just call them the rules. Okay, forget about guidelines, but the rules. Okay, and so you got to say to yourself, number one, do I have the ability to dedicate a significant number of my staff to just regulating our engagement for COVID? All right, so that means you have to have someone that every day is ensuring that the cleaning crews are cleaning the bathrooms every hour, that the classrooms are being cleaned, that when students come in the morning that you're tracking their temperature. And by the way, even keeping track of the temperature doesn't mean that it's perfect because so many students are asymptomatic. So many people are asymptomatic. You can spread it.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought 1 second, Mr. Sorrell. We're going to bring you in on the other side. We got to go to break right quick. We're talking about the coronavirus and schools opening. Let us know what you think. 8669 Rickey. We got Mr. Michael Sorrell, president of Paul Quinn College. More up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Okay, I can't.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. We're talking about they're trying to make the kids go back to school. Let me, for everybody that's just joining us, President Trump said, forget the coronavirus pandemic. All students need to be back in school this year. So we wanted to know what you think or whatever. So is back to school a must or a mistake? We have the president of Paul Quinn College. That might be the first HBCU in the state of Texas. if I'm not mistaken.
That is true.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. So we got President Michael Sorrell on with us. And what were you saying before we went to break, Mr. President?
Oh, we were talking about just what it's going to be like day to day in the classroom and trying to keep students separated and what it's going to be like in schools. And so schools, whether you are kindergarten all the way up through college, you're going to need staff members who really sole job is monitoring the student and faculty engagement to help stem the fact that people are going to be exposed to this. I mean, so let's think about this for a moment. So every student has to wear a mask. Every student has to keep that mask above their nose all day long.
Right.
Right? So you're going to need someone who literally walks around and ensures, and teachers are going to be turned into public health police officers, right? Because you're going to be in the classroom, and when the kids start playing with the mask, you got to tell them, hey, keep the mask up, right? And there's this study that's been done that talks about how you gain knowledge, right? And that knowledge gained under traumatic, stressful environments is not the same as when you learn in an open environment. Our classrooms are going to be, and our campuses are going to be traumatic environments this fall. So much of the learning that students are going to do isn't going to be retained in the same way. It's just, I mean, this is an incredible, I understand the desire to get people back to school. Right. I do, because it's important to the economy. It's important to the schools, all of that, right? But the reality of it is that it's just incredibly dangerous right now. And until we can figure out how to make life safer, I don't think you put the students, in fact, I know you don't put the students at risk that way.
Wow. And what do you think about the president making a statement about defunding the schools that don't make the kids go back to school?
Well, I mean, listen, man, we know what time that is.
Right.
I mean, there are competing agendas. And I'll just point this out. If I'm running for re-election and I understand that this has been an incredibly disruptive the most disruptive moment in American history. It has closed businesses. It has closed society. You've got a virus that is just completely out of control. That is going to be an election issue.
Right.
That's not going to work well for you. So you have an incentive to push your agenda forward. Doesn't necessarily mean it's in the best interest of everyone else. But self-preservation is the first rule of nature.
Right.
And it's an act of self-preservation.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that it is supported by science, and it doesn't mean that it is supported by the facts. And I understand him doing that. I understand him saying that. And if you're looking at it solely from his perspective and looking at sort of the track record, it makes total sense that that's his position. I just wish that, we were able to send people back to school and feel really good about that decision.
Right. Hey, man, we're so happy to have you on. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up and show your love to President Michael Sorrell. Thank you so much for your insight today. We appreciate your expertise. And a big shout out to Paul Quinn College, Dallas, Texas, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you. And y'all keep killing it, because we depend on you. We love you. And by the way, mad love for a little mix with Blow the Whistle coming on. I see y'all.
You know what time it is.
Come on now, I wasn't always a college president, all right?
We know. Y'all give it up and show your love for President Michael Sorrell, man. Thank you so much for joining me. We got Eva's Corner coming up, y'all. And in the next hour, we're going to be talking to my daughter as she's recovered. She wants to talk. So we got Aaron Smiley coming up, and Eva's Corner, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
To all the hard-working women and everyday super moms, we got a little something for you. It's Eva's Corner on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, the time right now is the top of the hour. It's time for Eva's Corner. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Eva's Corner, where we talk about everything womanhood, motherhood, and the juiciness in between. And today, we're talking about the juicy, Ricky. I want to know, is an emotional affair the same as a physical affair, and do you consider it cheating? Now, I asked my husband this question.
You got a physical affair, but you're not emotionally attached to?
That's just called cheating. That's just sitting in its own little box. That's called cheating. But an emotional affair is the idea of being already in a relationship, like myself, being married, or maybe in a committed relationship where you're engaged or definitely monogamous. And then you meet someone else, maybe a work friend or something like that, and you start a relationship. And not necessarily a physical relationship, but something that is beyond platonic. Platonic for Special K, who most likely does not know what that means. That's a relationship without sex. So,
wait a minute.
Is it the same thing, or does it weigh differently? Now, for myself as a woman, I would kind of prefer my husband to having a physical versus an emotional affair. And this is why. Because for a emotional affair, there needs to have emotions. You need to think about this person. You wine and dine this person. There are things that you might do in a physical affair where it's just a one and done. But an emotional affair can carry and linger for so long. But that's just me. I'm a lady. I want to know what you fellas think. Ricky, you've been in a couple of relationships.
Like if you hit, right, if you smash, but you ain't thinking about her, that's one thing. But if you laying up in the bed and you got your head on my chest and we cuddling and watch TV, but you thinking about her, that's bad. That mean you on your way out, because now we don't even like the bed. Like, why you breathing so hard? Why you sit up here blinking your eyes like that? Why you pour that much cereal? Why you use so much milk on your cereal?
Petty, just petty.
Gary, what you think, Gary?
I won't neither one of them. How you gonna sit there and say you remind your husband to have a physical?
I don't want him to have either.
Okay, because you ain't having neither one of them, honey. Because I don't want you to have no emotional affair or no damn physical affair, honey. If we supposed to be together and stuff like that, because that's not a good feeling, and that drives people crazy. And so that's why people wind up killing one another and doing all kind of crazy stuff. Because
that's
think about you all day.
That's the space most people live in, this unreality of thinking that just because you're in a long-term relationship or you married or whatever, that no other person will ever enter that space that could pierce that. And that's just not reality, because in the course of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, you're going to meet other people. You're going to work with people. You're going to meet with people in social situations. You're going to meet with people from your past.
Right.
I mean, sometimes things just happen. And the question is it worse to be emotionally involved or physically?
And especially now, you flip it for the other way around. Once a woman become emotionally attracted to somebody else, it's over. I don't care. I don't care. You can send her what them flowers y'all was talking about earlier this morning.
Birds of paradise.
You can send her some birds of paradise flowers. You can send her a funeral home casket wreath carnation flower. You can Louboutins, a car. She ain't coming back. Once her ass got her mind, look at you over there sitting in the window smiling. Once her ass got her mind on somebody else, you can forget it. I don't care. You can go get you some brand new veneers, teeth, just
baby, you got
dentine ice when you smile.
If I gave you some damn teeth, honey, and we broke up, you give me back my teeth then, honey. You let his
you keep your teeth if they're your teeth. All I'm saying is that there are dangers in emotional relationships. And I think a lot of times people that are in committed relationships have a void there somewhere, and they think that if they're not physical with the other person, then everything is okay. It's not okay, because my husband said it's like this. It's like going to work every day and not getting a paycheck.
And even
to be emotionally
you done set up here and gave this girl one of your kidneys to keep her from going to dialysis, and now she with somebody else, and you can still feel the kidney, and that kidney get beat up every night. You laying up on the couch. You laying up on the couch watching the episode of First 48, and all of a sudden that kidney start jumping because she with another nigga. Oh, I almost said it.
Boy, them emotions get the best of you.
And I'm talking about that kidney getting beat up.
Rock, you've been married for years.
Child, please, you're asking the wrong person.
Nah, man. Let me tell you something. When you get them emotions, when you get them emotions involved, that's danger zone number one. Like, it's like there's no coming back for that.
Sitting up there, your
so
kid,
don't even go there.
Sitting up there, your kid is talking about.
Ricky. Ricky only knows physical affairs.
Your kidney getting beat out of the frame every day. Now you trying to file papers in court, trying to figure out how you can get your kidney back. Trying to find the loophole in the law.
Kidney got dents in it.
Is that what Babyface said? I only think of you on 2 occasions. Is that what that?
You may not want that kidney back, Rick. Beat up,
dent it up,
bruise. So at the end of the day, emotional affairs, we can agree that they are as bad as a physical affair.
Girl, yes. And that man Special K was talking about it. That's the case. Don't get married then, honey. If you want to do your relationship like
okay,
a
but you can't. Okay, but Gary, when you get married, you don't see where you're gonna be 15, 20 years into the future.
Well, but you know if you're gonna be there,
you agree to work on it, Kay. You know what I mean?
Okay,
when you
but
get married,
okay,
no,
but
you don't know
y'all
exactly.
are being unrealistic, and y'all act like everybody goes into a marriage.
That kidney got beat up so bad, you keep jumping up, running to the restroom, thinking you got to pee.
Oh Lord!
Kidney gonna be on dialysis.
Okay. All right, y'all. 5 minutes after the hour, y'all. Coming up. Oh, we on right now. Coming up next, man, I have my daughter on the phone. My daughter's mother talking about she's speaking out, so we had to get her up and get her on the phone, and she's actually up. I'm shocked. Coming up next, we're gonna be talking to Aaron Smiley. Up next, Rick Smiley Morning Show. All right, Rick Smiley Morning Show. 9 minutes after the hour. First of all, I want to thank everybody for your prayers for our daughter. And your prayers for everybody that's fell victim to gun violence on 4th of July weekend. So we're happy to have our 9 minutes after the hour. We're happy to have Aaron on this morning and her mother, Tamika. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
What up, Steve?
Good morning.
Hey, Aaron, good morning.
Hey, Aaron. Morning. How are you, honey?
Aaron?
Aaron, can you hear me?
Hey, guys, I can hear you guys now.
Hey, honey, how you feeling?
Good morning.
I'm okay. Good morning, guys.
Oh, we love you so much. We love you so much, and we're so glad you're okay. And we just you so strong. You know, your dad, he raised a soldier for sure. And we just happy that you're still here with us. We blessed, and we love you, man.
How you feeling today, Aaron?
I'm okay. I'm happy to be alive. I'm praying for those that have actually, had to give their life to gun violence and stuff, died because of it. I'm just happy to be here. Didn't get much sleep. They come in at all times of the night.
Yeah.
Poking and prodding, taking blood and rewrapping my leg and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you remember what happened? You want to tell everybody what happened?
Sure. Let's see if I can get through it without crying.
You don't have to.
No, it's all right. I can say it, just not the details of it. So my 19th birthday, I was celebrating. I had a little dinner, and then I got an Airbnb. I was with my boyfriend. We were going to go to Whataburger. That was it. So we got in the car. We were on the highway maybe for 5 minutes. We got off the highway and we were waiting at a red light. We were going to turn left. There was a car already in the middle, and then a car comes up in the very right lane. And people they just started shooting. They were shooting at the car in the middle, but clearly their aim wasn't, top tier, because I got hit. The car in front of us, they got hit. I think there was a car behind us that also got hit, and that was it.
So when did you realize you was hit?
You want me to be honest, Dad? I thought that they were shooting fireworks. When they got out the car, I didn't register they're about to shoot people. I thought these are just some dumb kids that are about to place fireworks on the ground. Because day after 4th of July, and kids do really stupid things. So I'm
we don't have to worry about it. I thought when it went through the car that, like, I just got burned, you know? Like, it was just hot and it was quick. And I didn't realize until Jake looked at me and he was like, why aren't you reacting to this, baby? Like, you have a bullet in your leg. And I looked down and I'm like gushing blood. And I tried the best. I didn't know that I had been shot in my left leg only because it had went straight through and the bullet had only stayed in my right leg. So I was just trying to put as much pressure as I could. He starts freaking out, you know. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? We have to look for a hospital. So I'm blessed that there was one literally like 5 minutes away, like up the street. I remember I blacked out for like maybe a good 5 minutes when he had to pick me up and carry me in. I remember seeing the blood, and then it all just went dark. And then I woke up on a table.
So you lost a lot of. She lost a lot of blood.
It hit an artery. I had 5 pints in my whole body. They had to give me a transfusion.
So Tamika, how did you? Because you text me at 11:30. I was knocked out. I go to bed at 8 o'clock, and I woke up that morning. You said emergency. How did you find out she got shot?
The scariest thing was, I mean, she left the house in the afternoon, like, oh, I'll be gone for a couple hours. I'm going to go grab something to eat and we're going to hang out. And, you know, to think that she still hasn't even been home yet. That was Sunday. But no, I received a call and it was like from a hospital. And I was like, okay, that's really weird. I was thinking maybe they got into a fender bender and I could prepare myself for that. But then when I called back, they said, you know, your daughter has been shot. And I was like, oh, no, you have the wrong kid. Like, I don't know. It's been a mistake. There's no way that they said, no, your daughter has been shot and you need to come. And so I started to text you, but I knew you had to get up and do the morning show. And I was like, he's asleep. There's no way I can wake him. But it was the scariest thing ever, you know.
Wow. Go ahead, Brad. Eva, y'all wanted to... Gary?
Yeah, well, I'm just glad Aaron is okay and everybody's okay, honey. I was like, okay, when I saw those pictures and things, I'm like, is that real? I wasn't sure if it was real or not. So until everybody said,
Gary, you pretty much raised Aaron.
Yes, honey. I mean, yes, Lord. So hey, Tamika, but I'm glad that she's okay. And then I thought about it, but you know, this not nothing stupid or crazy. But Aaron, did Whataburger call y'all and say they gonna give you something?
No, they did not. That's what
Gary.
See, that part
they're gonna give me free burgers for life.
Yes,
I know. Well, we love you, and we are so happy that you are okay, Aaron. I know I've only met you a couple of times. This is Eva, but I've cried for you. I have been praying for you since the day I heard. I am so happy that you are okay, and I am praying for your strength and for your family's strength. Your daddy is a soldier.
Yeah, like you like our little sister, man. Like it hurt us when he said that. Like all of our hearts stopped. Like what? Not Aaron. You know Aaron, the good kid. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She's doing the college thing. She's smart. She's articulate. She's caring. I'm like, oh my God, why would this happen to her? You know, and I know we're not supposed to question God, but it just seemed like nothing like this would ever happen to Aaron from sitting in the car. Y'all need to stop with these guns. It is ridiculous. If you know somebody or can encourage somebody to put a gun down, take them to a gym. Go take them boxing to let out some frustration. Because all it is when somebody pull the trigger is like built up anger or retaliation or something. Go read a book or something. Like, it's ridiculous. You're killing kids and hurting innocent people.
Aaron, anything you want to say before we go?
Just like she just mentioned, she asked like why God would do this, but honestly what I have to say is I think he definitely saved me from much worse, because though they were using like hollow tip, like rifle made bullets, and those are the kind of bullets that are made to go through anything. That's how they got through the metal of the car. The only bullet that would have hit me right in the head was not a rifle hollow tip bullet. Didn't get through. So, you know, everyone keeps saying, how are you being so positive and stuff? And I'm like, I could literally be dead right now. You know, if that one bullet had gone through, would have made all the difference. So I'm thankful. I'm so thankful. He was definitely there protecting me that night. And I know, you know, I got 4 bullet holes in my legs, and I'm like, he was protecting me, but he was.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
absolutely.
Well, you know, I love you, and I'm proud of you.
We do too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So think about
And I just want to thank everyone for the outpouring of love and support. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. I know this is the hardest thing that she's ever gone through and faced in life, and just to have the support and the love, I think it makes all the difference.
Hey, Aaron, now you got your little I've been shot thing like your dad's, huh? All the thing you need to do now is go inside a Quick Trip and steal a couple of bags of M&Ms when you go to jail. Get you a mug shot to go along with your gunshot. You'll have your real. You got street credits now.
Street cred.
You got street credit. Aaron, you over here with your dad. You like your daddy, huh?
I said I got street cred already.
Yeah.
I said you love too, Tamika.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Hey, y'all have a good day. I'll call you later.
Aaron,
She's supposed to get out. Tamika, she getting out today?
Yeah, so we're hoping she'll be released today. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for doing this.
Thank you.
Interview. All right, Aaron. I'll text you later. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
All right, y'all. 19 minutes after the hour, y'all. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show front page coming up.
News headlines.
Entertainment. Sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 28 minutes after the hour, y'all. Got your front page right here. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. Here's a look at your front page news. So, President Trump, number 45, sent out a tweet threatening to cut off federal funding for schools that don't have students in classrooms come this fall. But here's the thing. He can't. And even if he could, the federal government provides less than 10% of funding for public schools. Furthermore, if this could be an indication of what's to come, an Iowa school district had to stop in-person summer school program this week after an outbreak of fevers. Also, there's a lot of tension between Trump and his own health officials over COVID-19. After he criticized the CDC's guidelines for reopening schools, the agency now plans to issue new guidelines next week. And apparently, Trump has not attended any meetings of his own coronavirus task force in months. The group has now started holding sessions outside of the White House. Also, Florida is now the nation's biggest coronavirus hotspot. Several attorneys in Jacksonville have filed a lawsuit trying to block the city from hosting Republican National Convention come this August. The suit claims that the event would be very dangerous to public health. Meanwhile, Mayor Turner of Houston has already canceled the city's GOP convention over the coronavirus concerns. Now, in other news, a San Francisco lawmaker has introduced this called the CAREN Act, spelled with a C, C-A-R-E-N, which would outlaw and criminalize racially motivated 911 calls. Also, today is the final day of the Supreme Court's term. It is expected to rule on 2 cases today that would determine who can see President Trump's financial records. And last, ladies, Bed Bath & Beyond has announced plans to close 200 stores. Sounds like a smell. I know, it smells like a sale to me, Brett. All right, that was a quick look at the front page news. For more on what's trending, log on to RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock T, what's going on in Ivy League sports?
Not fall sports. Yes, indeed. It's official. The Ivy League has ruled out playing all fall sports, including football. So all the football seasons has been, as of right now, possibly canceled, maybe postponed to the spring. Expect other divisions and conferences to do the same thing. Stanford University will be discontinuing and eliminating 11 varsity sports programs due to the coronavirus. And, man, shout out to former college football wide receiver Phillip Banks, who made a life-saving catch.
Yeah, it do it.
Drop it like it's hot.
Watch you gonna come back. Watch you gonna come back.
I'm back.
You back? I told you.
I'm back.
Come on, man. Go back to his music. Like, hold on, Brad. I knew his mic always go out. The internet go out at the same time every day, and then it comes back. So basically, your internet be like burping or something.
Receiver Philip Banks, who played in college, man, he made a life-saving catch. He caught a 3-year-old child that was thrown from a burning building, saving the child's life. He is also a former U.S. Marine. The sad news about the story, though, is the child's mother did not make it out the burning building, so she passed away. But they dropped that baby, and he ran up to the building, caught him, and so big ups to what he did, man. Saved a life right there. Philip Banks, there you have it, man. The Brat. Now it's time for the hot spot. Let's get it.
The hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and it's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
It is 28 minutes before the top of the hour. Y'all, Brett got the hot spot. Good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brett Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into this thing. Y'all, reports say that Tyler Perry will be paying for the funeral of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner. She was shot and killed on the 4th of July in the same Wendy's parking lot as Rashad Brooks. In a statement to People, Tyler Perry said, "Who said that outrage has to choose a side? When so many black people like George Floyd and Rashad Brooks were killed, I was outraged and did what I could to help their families. When a white police officer was shot in the head trying to stop a shoplifter in a suburb outside of Atlanta, I was outraged and I did what I could do to help him and his family." He said, "And when we're killing each other, including our innocent children, I am outraged. It doesn't matter what color wrong comes in. Wrong is wrong. I'm outraged today because I'd rather be paying for an 8-year-old Sequoia Turner's college than her funeral. When does this end?" Whew. My goodness,
Man.
that was kind of deep, right? Yeah, makes sense, though. He got a point. All right, moving on. Last but not least, y'all, T.I. and 50 Cent continue to throw shots at each other on social media. So
Are they playing, Brad, or are they for real?
They for real, but this is just building up like LL Cool J and Kumo D for the good old battle to go to the verses and see. You know, I think they serious a little bit, but it's all fun and games, I think. Well, he challenged 50 Cent to a versus, and then 50 responded with a decade-old video of T.I. promoting the Crime Stoppers hotline, right? And then he posted, "Why you make me do this?" at Michael Blackston voice. Oh my God! So then T.I. clapped back saying, "I'll take this acceptance speech as a challenge." Yes, sir. That's right. You accept it. So then he tagged Swiss Beats and Timberland and said, "We got him. He bit the bait." He said, "So set this up so I can finally shut this watermelon head invisible neck up for once and for all." So T.I. had to address the Crime Stoppers because that's serious. Like, how you gonna show T.I. doing some Crime Stoppers video stuff with everything that's going on right now? 50 really be hitting below the belt. Well, T.I. said, as far as the clip goes, it's cute, old, outdated, and in poor taste, much like your catalog at 50 Cent. However, I prefer facts, and the facts remain. I have never given any information to the law enforcement at any time in life to get anybody for any crime.
Oh, I saw that video, yeah.
Oh, man, and then he said, Supreme told me to ask 50 Cent if he could say the same. I said, woo, it's getting hot in here. Woo. So he said, let's set this date and select your songs off your Hot 100, and let's lay your little overrated, outdated, steroid inflated ass catalog to rest. R.I.P. at 50 Cent. I seen you bully them New York dudes for years. Not the king though now.
Oh wow. Boy, this gonna so when are they gonna do it, Brett?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. They beefing it up. They building it up. They gonna let us know. This is gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big deal because they are promoting the hell out of it.
We got to get Tip on. We got to talk about this.
We do. Yes. All right, y'all, coming up next, we got Chef Boudreaux with the quarantine cuisine, and we got the praise mix down with the White Stone. That's right, it's 25 minutes before the top of the hour, y'all. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
About that time, man, for quarantine cooking with Chef Kurt Boudreaux. What you cooking, man?
Man, today I got corned beef and cabbage with a side of cornbread, man.
So, Kirk, how you make this corned beef situation?
I separate the cabbage from dark and the white and like cloves. I cut the vein out the leaves and use a little bit of bacon fat to fry the cabbage down. Boil the corned beef for about 2.5 hours. Then I add a little bit bacon fat to the pot, to the cabbage. And
bacon fat. Did you make the bacon, or bacon fat come by itself?
No, I had that reserved. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I had a little, I thought everybody keep a little bacon fat. That's my fault.
Bacon fat? No, I don't got none of that.
Okay, Brad.
Old school right there.
I'm like, bacon fat.
Grandmama kept bacon fat.
Oh, pork and beans.
So I add a little bit of onion to the cabbage and let it cook down. So just to have a little crunch to it, and throw the corned beef in there. I cut the corned beef up, throw it in the cabbage.
How
and let
long
it cook
did you
down
cook the
just a little
corned
bit more.
beef?
I cooked it for about 2.5 hours because it takes a while. That's brisket.
Yeah.
So it takes a little while to cook.
Okay.
What do you season your corned beef with, Chef?
Most of the corned beef is already seasoned. You just put it in a little water and boil it with that little packet of seasoning that it come in, and it's really salty. So you just let it cook down for that 2 hours. It should be straight.
Oh, okay.
And
Let's get to this cornbread.
Yeah, for the cornbread, I didn't really get a measurement.
Yellow like a piece of cornbread. What's your cornbread, home? You always want something to eat.
Cornbread.
We can't even sit in the station without you ordering 30 different breakfasts. Go ahead, Chef. I'm sorry. Oh, cornbread.
The cornbread is made from scratch. I just make a little simple cornbread recipe. It's on the video, so I didn't really want to give out all the measurements because it's like a lot. So I just figure out, you got to watch the video to get the measurements for the cornbread. I just put that together, man. And some people I like to, squish my cornbread on top of my cabbage.
Yeah. Do you go with a sweeter cornbread or not so sweet cornbread?
It's pretty sweet. I add a little bit of honey to mine, but some people like to do it after it comes out the oven. But just put it on a plate, man. Get your grub on, pig out.
That's a one-pot situation.
That sure sounds good, Chef. Well, tell them how you can be reached, Chef Boudreaux.
Where you find this video, Rickey Smiley Official, and follow your boy on Facebook at Boudreaux Center, and on Instagram, Chef Boudreaux 1, man.
Chef Kurt Boudreaux, y'all. Whoop, whoop.